Ahoy, ladies and gents, how you doing? Welcome to the BBC Spews Live. Hang on, why is it not the BBC Spews overlay? There we go. The wonders of modern technology, eh? And I don't even need a green screen. How's everyone doing? What's the date, first of all? It's the 18th of July. Huzzah! Is everyone still alive? Fuck me. Have you seen the clip of the news? BBC homepage, look at it. It's just desolation. You'd think we were living on the surface of the sun. We were, well, I was going to say gas. I don't even think gas can. What types of gas are on the surface of the sun? Nothing fucking living anyway. It's lunacy. Lunacy. Have they never heard of Mr. Freeze? Easy. 5 pence each. So just belt feed Mr. Freeze into us when it was sunny. No danger. I mean, I'm not being funny. I know that these are some pretty high temperatures, but it's not like in the entirety of our school years when I was a kid. I don't remember it being ridiculously hot. It must have been up there, maybe a degree or two off. But I remember being absolutely red as at the height of summer. Nobody cared. You opened the windows, and if you whinged about how hot it was, the teacher told you to shut the fuck up. Go and get a drink of water. That was like the cure for all ills when I was a kid. Go and have a drink of water. You used to get kids who'd whinge, wouldn't you? Like, miss me head hurts. Go and get a drink of water. Miss, I'm sweating like Jimmy Savile on the waltzers. Go and get a drink of water. Easy. Do they not have water fountains in schools anymore? Is that the problem? Instead of giving them the day off, build more fucking water fountains. Easy. I mean, I'm not being funny. When I was in Afghanistan, oh, here we go, swinging the lantern. We were doing advanced to contact patrols in the fucking summer in Afghanistan. It was redders. And you had body armor on and a helmet and a weapon and a shitload of ammunition. Probably 80 pounds worth of gear on you. And we used to just do it for hours. Some days you'd finish your whole camelback, like you've got 2 litres on your back and you'd knack the entire thing. Easy. And we're not as healthy as school kids, you know. There was always a pot-bellied sergeant in his late 30s, blown out of his ass, but he still did it. How did we take over the fucking half the world? How did we take over half the world where if we can't handle a bit of summer? It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, there's a good one. Queuing to get on the plane to Barbados. We took over India, for fuck's sake. India. And there was no such thing as synthetic fabrics then. We didn't have dry fit then, did we? Climber cooled. I say, Ginger, pass the climber cool sweatband. Fuck off. They used to wear like Hessian sacks. It's such bollocks. I mean, you know, I thought, so what? We used to march for 20 miles, drink our own piss, and then stab a load of Zulus in the summer in the glorious 1800s. Deal with it. Tea, good manners, and admin. That's exactly all you needed. Imagine what they were wearing when they put down the Boers. It was like they were wearing like big, thick, coarse clothing, uniforms. And, you know, they're all older blokes in the 20s and 30s, 40s. Zulu Rocks Drift. Do you think they were all a little bit nippy at Rocks Drift? Do you? What a load of bollocks. Who cares? You know what it is? It's this pandemic shit, isn't it? The Klaus, the deranged megalomaniacal Teutonic fuck, was talking about how they were going to use it to change the world. That's what they've done, haven't they? They've used the pandemic as a way to infantilize the entire world. And now, ever since then, the world's changed, hasn't it? You notice now everyone's a cringing coward. Everyone's alarmed when you see ginger kids in Afghanistan. You do, yeah. But, you know, that's because ultimately there's all sorts being to Afghanistan, hasn't there? There's going to be genetic throwbacks to all places all around the world in Afghanistan. Everyone's had a pop. Everyone's had a pop in Afghanistan, all the way back to Alexander the Great. So, yeah, so it's just fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. To normal people, well, not normal people, to people that pay attention like we do. It's depressing how pathetic, cringing, spineless the normies are. Just pathetic. It annoys me as well because there's people who I'm personally friends with who've had that attitude. People who I was arguing with for 12 months about the pandemic response, about the mask mandate and the vaccines, just lapped it up. Oh yeah, but we should help. We should all do our bit. Suck me plums. It's all bollocks. Guarantee. And I'm in my 40s now. It's not like I'm in peak condition. No part of the heat bothers me. I don't know how the hottest it's been over here in the States, but big fucking deal. We went to Palm Springs one weekend when the air conditioning broke in the family apartment. And it was boiling. But so what? It's like, it's the desert. I guarantee it's higher than 40 degrees. Put some sunblock on. Drink plenty of fluids. Stop being a fucking pussy. People go to Spain on holiday, British people, they're going about keeping hydrated as well. My dad and his mates used to go on the piss in Spain, you know, when they're in the 40s, when I was a kid. And they'd get absolutely shiters. Like, you talk about staying hydrated. They'd lie there getting shit-faced in the summer sun in Spain. And they'd drink 15 pints a day every day for 7 days. No one used to die. And they used to come home looking like fucking Jimmy the Lobster Boy. There'd always be one whose skin was the same colour as this T-shirt because he didn't put any sunblock on. It's like, I just do not understand it. The endless whining. Look at the news stories today. Warnings of heat apocalypse in parts of France. I mean, it's just total. Did you see the headline of the Daily Mirror? That was shocking. Let me see if did I put it on my Twitter? I don't even remember. Yeah, there it is. Fucking, I'll put it on my Twitter page. Look at this here. Just unbridled, fucking wet, wimpy meltdown. That's it. Look at that. It's just, well, it's exactly what people keep saying. It's fear porn for people to get off on it. The MSM see that they sell more papers when they push this shit. So that's all they do, endlessly. You know, Simon Sideways made a comical weather report, and it's true about that. Like, back in the day, weather reports was just like, you know, nice smiley suns all over the map. The map was green, and there was nice smiley suns all over it. And remember that guy on This Morning who used to jump around on the island in the water? He used to fall in occasionally. It was just that. It was like, yeah, who cares? And then look at that headline: meltdown, national emergency in bright red. You would expect to see a headline like that in bright red, massive capital letters: national emergency meltdown, when the fucking Nazis were invading. You'd think the SS had like rocked up at fucking Folkestone to see a headline like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Schools to shut. First ever red alert on deadly heat wave issued. Stop fucking dripping. Who cares? It's called summer. Shut the fuck up. I mean, and you'd think the climate Nazis would like it because if it kills a few old people, there's less carbon, isn't there, in the world? Although no, because when your granny dies, they're obviously going to import 80 fighting age men to take her place. They'll never pay any income tax the whole life. So maybe it doesn't work. Wasn't Fred the Weatherman a pedo, Professor? I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. He used to wear bright sweaters and leap around on the television. And in England, that's enough to basically be, you know, pound to a pinch of shite, you're a nonce. Seems like you have to be a nonce to get on television in England, don't you? If it's not Jimmy, it's Fred the weather pest. Wasn't that his official name? Fred the weather pest. Yeah, so brilliant that is shocking, isn't it? And what's this? Gemma, if Penny can do it, so can I. What's that? Mordaunt and Gemma Collins were on TV Splash together. I don't care about these people. They are snakes, our politicians nowadays, aren't they? Just absolute rats. We're talking about Biden today. How Biden was gobbing off about Britain again. And it's been rightly pointed out that Joe Biden's far more English than he is Irish. 66% English, 25% Irish, or whatever he is. And he only started going on about being Irish when he realised that it was a vote winner with shit for brains Irish Americans that are about as Irish as a fucking chicken vindaloo. And he started going on about it all the time. It's bollocks, isn't it? He's just another Boris Johnson. He's a snake. Just says anything, what the political wins. Another thing, because Americans are religious, he always went on about, he's a Catholic. And Pelosi, I'm a Catholic. Remember Pelosi? Oh, I'm a Catholic. I don't want to say bad things about Donald Trump. What do you mean you're a Catholic? You've been staunchly advocating hoovering women's piss flaps for fucking 30 years. Go and ask the Pope what he thinks about that. I'm more Catholic than Nancy fucking Pelosi. At least I say I'm very reluctantly pro-choice, and I think it should be talked about a lot more than it should be. And I think there should be a lot more debate on it, and there should be more concern about simply crushing babies' skulls left, right, and centre because you're a fucking woke cunt and you have no interest at all in even thinking about your ideology for a second. You just drank all the Kool-Aid. That's my version. I think the French and the Germans have got it right where they sort of make you get mandatory counselling, and they should make it a little bit of a choice. Make sure that you've thought about it before you fucking just drop your drawers and go and jam another fucking Dyson up there, you cunt. You know what I mean? It's absolutely shocking. It's so Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are just typical like Boris Johnson, just rats. They'll say anything, bend with the political winds. They don't care about anything. This is why I think everyone's got a right to be as angry with Joe Biden as they are, because Joe Biden has always said he was a moderate, a centrist, a reasonable, and then he gets in, and because the woke have got the bit between the teeth, now he's the most fucking lefty cunt ever. Now the woke have got the bit between the teeth. Joe Biden is like, oh yeah. No, he's not moderate anymore, is he? He's not a centrist anymore, and his entire platform was, I'm not Trump. I'm a moderate. I'm going to be moderate in all things. And then the first day in there, he's like signing 30 executive orders. Open the border, stop the wall, stop the pipeline, stop the fracking, stop the drilling, green agenda, fucking dickhead. That's why people have got a right to be angry with Joe Biden, shaking hands with ghosts, because he's a fucking idiot. It's unbelievable. Anyway, there's my opening rant for 15 minutes. We might as well do a bit of news. I'm looking, honestly though, this is the homepage. The top 3 stories: whining, fear-mongering, heat apocalypse, rising rapidly. Why is it so hot? Shut the fuck up going on about it. BBC reports on the ground as fires rage. Whining. Just every story. Breaking, it's hot. Don't care. What does that even mean, heat apocalypse? Heat wave. Fuck off, BBC. I don't even like every click, even if it's to get rid of an advert on the BBC. I worry that I'm going to give them 0.01 pennies. Heatwave warnings of heat apocalypse in France. Western France is facing a heat apocalypse. Experts. Oh, yeah, we are experts. As I keep saying, Michael Gove, pob-faced twat that he is, the one thing he said that was sensible is that we've all had enough of bastard experts. They all talk shit. Experts. They're not experts. The political ideologues masquerading as experts. They get some letters behind the name because they went to an ideologue university completely staffed by insane, woke degenerates. And then they tell us all, oh yeah, this is what we should be doing for the world. No, it's what you're doing to spread your ideology. That's why everybody's had enough of experts. This is what I'm saying. When they all took the piss out of Michael Gove and said, oh, look at Michael Gove, oh my God, everyone's had enough of experts. That's what he was saying. He wasn't stupid enough to say people who will learned in one subject shouldn't be listening. He was saying that the experts have agendas of their own. That's why people have had enough of the experts. And they're not impartial and they don't tell you the truth. Apologies. I went to the gym again this morning. I'm hanging out my ass. That's what he was saying. He wasn't saying people who know a lot about one subject should never be listening. He was saying experts, you can't trust experts. Experts are pushing a political. This is nakedly political, talking about this subject. So fuck the experts. Temperatures could reach record levels, in 15 regions in the southwest, with firefighters battling wildfires. The firefighters are battling wildfires when they can get them to go to work, because it's France. The French firefighters do no fucking work. They have more time off than John Wayne's safety catch, French firefighters. They don't do any work. That's probably why they're on fire, because the firefighters were too busy shagging the mistresses, going for a fucking baguette and smoking gitans outside some upmarket cafe owned by Arabs. That's all they do in France. So bollocks, don't work. Spain, Portugal, and Greece. Weird how it's all the countries where nobody does any work, isn't it? Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because those places fundamentally don't do any work. Maybe the infrastructure's lacking. Spain, Portugal, and Greece. Think about it. Spain, Portugal, and Greece. If there's 3 other countries other than France in Europe where you know for a fact nobody does any bastard work, it's Spain, Portugal, and Greece. Have you ever tried getting anyone to do anything in Portugal? I went to Portugal for a football tournament once. Fucking useless bunch of cunts they are. Useless. You think French waiters are bad? You should see the Portuguese ones. It's like, can I get a drink over here, mate? That's like going into the fish and chip shop in England and going, can I have a bag of chips, mate? He goes, fucking hell, what am I? Your slave. Shut up and put the chips in the bag, you fat cunt. How's about that? Well, it doesn't happen, does it? I'm speaking hypothetically because the bloke in my local chip, he's a fat fucker. But he's never once done that. You go and he goes, all right, Matty, what do you want? I'll say, cod and chips twice, please, Steve. Oh, no, there you go. See you later. Doesn't happen that way in Portugal. 2 super box, mate. Fuck off. So there, maybe that's why it's all on fire, because nobody does any work. Wildfires in France have forced over 24,000 people to flee, with emergency shelters set up for evacuees. Gironde, a popular tourist region, has been hit particularly badly, with firefighters finally having to get out of bed for the first time in 27 years. Jean-Luc Workshy, president of the Gironde region, told the BBC fires had continued to grow because of the hot and windy weather, making it difficult for firefighters to contain them. Oh, it was windy as well. Maybe that's why. They have to fight against this fire, which is growing and growing. The heat wave has prompted warnings of what one meteorologist described as an apocalypse of heat. So one meteorologist, probably AOC, give him a fucking chew. And now he's talking about the apocalypse. So this is what they do, right? Just think of it. There's the paragraph. The heat wave has prompted warnings of what one meteorologist described to AFP News as an apocalypse of heat. So because one meteorologist on a planet of 8 billion expressed an opinion in such a manner on a topic that is nakedly, aggressively political, that's the headline the BBC's gone with. Isn't it? Heat wave, heat apocalypse, oh my God. As if that's like a black and white definition of heat apocalypse. No, you're calling it a heat apocalypse because one fucking arsehole said it was, who went to the AOC School of Meteorology, which is, the world's going to end in 2025 if we don't do something about it. AOC, Apple threw a tennis racket. Bollocks. One meteorologist described it as an apocalypse of heat. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean, an apocalypse of heat? You know the definition of an apocalypse, right? So why is it an apocalypse of heat? I don't get it. Are you just talking bollocks? Are you just talking bollocks, Mr. fucking political activist? I mean, literally, it's from the Bible, isn't it? Apocalypse. It's the literal destruction of the world. Isn't it? That's what it means. So he said it's an apocalypse of heat. So it's the literal destruction of the world of heat. Is it? Looks like I'm still here, mate. Weird that, isn't it? Weird how the BBC have gone with that headline. An apocalypse. A literal destruction of the entire planet of heat. But we're all still here. In fact, pissed down with rain here today in California. Weird that, isn't it? Weird. The heat wave has impacted other areas of France too. The city of Brest in Brittany reached 40 degrees, far higher than its usual average. Don't care. Record high temperatures were registered across many towns and cities in France. You know what? This partisan nonsense has made me so angry, I'm going to set another tyre on fire. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll just pull the tyre off a big rig, douse it in petrol and set it on fire on the front. I won't be long. What a load of shit. I'm sick of hearing about it. All of this, so you won't go on holiday this year. John Kerry will go on holiday. And Joe Biden will go on holiday. Nancy Pelosi will spend 2 weeks in the south of France, but you can't go. You can't go. No, you have to stay in fucking Slough and shut up and do some work. Because all them immigrants need to eat. All the dingy grunts need a fucking packed lunch. Yeah, so you have to go to work. You don't get to go to Spain for a week, wanker. All the politicians can go. George Soros can go on his yacht, and Bill Gates can fly off to wherever he is, Monaco. But you have to stay and go to work. You have to stay and go to work. Fuck going to Spain, you selfish prick. You stay and pay your taxes so Matty Wankbo can have a fucking sausage roll paid for by you. What does that mean? Luton Airport melted. Well, like the runways sort of melted, or the whole thing. Like, wasn't the airport here last week? No, it melted. Just like ice. Just went, whoop, there's nothing there anymore. I could have sworn there was an airport there. Nah, melted. So that's class, that, innit? Winner. Love it. I'm not going to go on about the heatwave anymore. Can't be asked. Anyway, you get the idea. It's every story. It's headlines. It's newspapers. It's bollocks. It's bollocks. It's every single story. Why is it so hot? Well, we know what you're going to say. I don't need to read this, do I? Why is it so hot? We asked some aggressive, dogmatic political scientists. Meteorologists. Look, oh yeah, that looks terrible, that. Oh my God, sitting in a chair with a newspaper. Fucking, how will they cope? Shh. Oh, jam jars. Stand up and give that fat old fella your seat. Have you got no manners, Geggy? We were being warned it could pose a life-threatening risk to even normally healthy people. Bollocks. 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 Show me the evidence for that. Normally healthy people. One caveat. If you count as normally healthy, i.e. what? Your weight and your blood pressure, I think you should also have to include your fucking brain. You need to be healthy in the brain. I.e. if it's redders, you put some sunblock on and you drink a pint of water before you go out for a couple of hours. That's it. That's it. Done. Normally healthy. Does the brain count? Because that's what they always do, don't they? They'll go, oh, he was normally healthy and he's a fucking Down syndrome in a wheelchair. Like Stephen Hawking with Downs. This healthy man died yesterday. It's like when the pandemic was on. Do you remember we sharing that story about the pandemic? Can I find that one? Otherwise healthy. Let me have a look. Otherwise healthy. It was Welsh mum coronavirus. I'm going to have a look for it because the fucking picture. I hope I can find it. I shared it with you guys about a year ago now. But it was unbelievable. Let me have a look. Otherwise healthy Welsh mum dies of coronavirus. Let me have a look. It's got to be here. Nah, that's not the one. She's Welsh, but she's skinny and got teeth like a burnt fence. That's not her. What about Karen Hobbs? Is that her? Maybe. Yeah, honestly, I can't find it. One of them. I swear to God. One of them, it was all over the BBC. It said, otherwise healthy young woman dies of coronavirus. And it showed the picture of her. And I swear down, she really did have more chins than the Chinese phone book. She had a fucking head like a wheelie bin. A wheelie bin with a face drawn on it. Unbelievable. It was otherwise healthy. If you're 28 stone, you're not otherwise healthy. She had fingers like fucking Warburton's. Not Warburton's, Walls, sausages. She had fingers like, in the photograph of her, she was like 20 chins. Proper. Even her nose was fat. How do you have a fat nose? Even her nose was fat. Her fingers were like sausage rolls, and there was like Battenberg crumbs all down the front of her dress. She was like that. Said, otherwise healthy young mum dies of COVID. You're 28 stone. You're not healthy. What do you mean? You can't. It's unbelievable to even say it's otherwise healthy. Otherwise healthy. If she walked into a doctor's office in the 1980s, the doctor had shit himself. As soon as the door opened, well, no. As soon as the workmen finished removing the fucking door so Buffalo ass could fit through it, the doctor would go, Jesus. You know what I mean? Otherwise healthy. Head like a wheelie bin with a face drawn on it. No, not otherwise healthy. 290-pound sack of fucking rats. Not otherwise healthy. And this is what I'm saying. I want otherwise. it should say normally healthy mentally. No, normally healthy physically and mentally. Because if you're such a thick twat that you go out in 40-degree heat with your top off, and all you've been drinking special brew for 3 days, you're not otherwise healthy. Your brain's mentally ill. Your brain is as healthy as a morbidly obese leper AIDS victim, right? Is physically healthy. Otherwise healthy, morbidly obese leper AIDS victim, there's no such thing. No such thing. So yeah, bollocks. Normally healthy mentally and physically. Because this is where they get the statistics from, isn't it? If you're like a proper shit for brains, right? And you go out pissed for 14 hours in direct sunlight and don't drink any water, and they find you dead, they go, healthy man dies. No, if you're that thick, they shouldn't class you as healthy. They should put that down as like a severe health defect. What was wrong with him? IQ and 93. Fucking idiot then. Well, then that's not a healthy person dying. That's someone with a fucking broken brain. Biden, how many of these old people are dying? Not because of the physical health, but because of the mental health, i.e. the fucking doolally. So they wander around in the fucking direct sunlight. And the next thing they find them toasted and go, oh, yeah, it was the sun that killed them. No, it was the brain that killed them. It was the low IQ that killed them. Fucking bollocks. So remember the 5th of November. The globalist shills plot. What's this one? Oh, here it is. So here's the meat of what the BBC was going to say. You knew it was going to be here. Why is it so hot? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because CO2 emissions increased by 6%, the highest ever. They need to virtually half by 2030. And we need a 43% reduction by the end of the decade, according to the IPC. Then the world needs to scale back emissions to net zero by 2050. Then the world, and then. Bollocks. It's all fucking bollocks. This is just a wish list. It's just a wish list of physically impossible things to achieve. We don't have the science, the knowledge, the technology. We can't fucking do it. So stop going on about it. You might as well write a headline, how do we get world peace? Then we need to make everybody nice to each other. Then we need to get rid of all the stabby people. Then we need to... It's not happening. It's not happening. It could possibly happen, but it could only happen if you use methods that make the general public balk. Like, think about it. You could have world peace. I think I have a plan that could instigate world peace, but it's Darth Vader-esque. Right? This is where it gets grim when you want to be... When the forces of order and chaos go too far one way, that's when you get like just apocalyptic events, almost world ending. Because you need moderation in all things. I have a plan that could usher in world peace, but it would involve absolute tyranny. You know what I mean? To get world peace, all we need to do, right? I've got a plan. It's more achievable than this shit. So let me tell you, this bollocks is, at least I have a plan that's achievable. My plan is all the wealthy Western nations combine to create one super state. Let's call it the evil empire, yeah? And then the evil empire takes over the entire rest of the world, the developing world, right? And then crushes them with an iron fist, yeah? And anybody who ever gets caught or even accused, fuck it, might as well go all in, accused of petty theft, vandalism, or burglary gets a bullet in the head. Right? Easy. And then you do that for 4 or 5 years, and we'd have a massive amount to put all of our money into drones, CCTV, robots, and snipers. Yeah. And anybody who breaks the law ever gets their head blown off. Yeah. And then we have ruthless propaganda, posters everywhere, CCTV on every street corner. And after about 10 years of that, under Matty's evil empire, world peace. Easy. Easy. You can go out at night. No more rape threats. No more muggings. No more stabbings. No more burglaries. But unfortunately, bit of a price to pay, isn't there? Bit of a price to pay if you want total safety and security, which, funny old thing, my horseshoe theory goes round in a circle. It's why the far left and the far right end up in the same place, isn't it? How hard is it? If you get some far-right totalitarian fascist regime, yes, women would never have to worry about catcalling ever again. Well, guess what? AOC wants the same, but they're just going to do it in different ways. If you want to be free people, you have to risk people being mean to you. Ooh, people upsetting you. People doing things that you don't really like or approve of. Fuck me. And what do? You go, what a cunt. You get on with your day. Works. It's worked for decades. Worked for generations. Worked for generations. But it's more achievable than this fucking bollocks, isn't it? This total shit here. You can actually have that. You can have world peace if you really, really, really want it. I'm just telling you, it's not very good. The best system that we've managed to work out is socially liberal, free market, capitalist society, libertarianism. Basically, it's the best way of doing it. If you want world peace, ladies and gentlemen, we can give you it. But I don't think you'd fucking enjoy getting there. And I don't think you'd enjoy living there. It's not so bad, is it? Risking being offended, risking being upset, risking occasionally being robbed or stolen from. It's better than living in fucking Robocopville. And that's what the lefty arseholes don't understand. At least the fascists sort of get it. The fascists do get it, don't they? They do get it. They think it's a price worth paying. But they do get it. They probably realise that most people would rather risk occasional, like I said, crime, danger, risk. Most people would rather have a bit of that as long as they're more or less free. At least the fascists get it. The far left, which is why I keep going on about it. I don't like the fascists, but I don't like the far left more. This is why all I do is whinge about the walk. Because as C.S. Lewis said, at least the tyranny of a robber baron is preferable, because occasionally they might feel a twang of regret. The fascists, at least they know if they're trying to usher in a fascist fucking state, at least they know it'll piss people off and they might feel a bit guilty about it every now and then. The woke, the commies, those commie rats would get us to the exact same place, but they'd never once feel guilty about it. That's why their death toll always beats the fascists, doesn't it? Like I said, Mao made Hitler look like a fucking amateur, because the communists never once questioned their ideology. They never even, not for a moment, did they get pricked by the conscience and think maybe what we're doing is wrong. They think, no, it's all for the greater good, So this is why, like I said, I've picked us aside. I've always been centrist, centre-left, a socially liberal person, but I've gone in with the right-wingers because at least it's the lesser of two evils, and we've proved that reasonable centrism doesn't work. You have to pick a side, don't you? So that's what I've done. Easy. This is just fucking shit. They need to. Well, how are we going to do it? If the entire Western world bans the motor car and the automobile and the airplane, it still won't happen. Because China and India and the third world are going to keep fucking. And they're going to keep building and they're going to keep working. It's not going to happen. So fuck it. Easy. Innit? This has been my whole argument the entire time. I'm not saying I'm a climate change denier. I've never said that. I don't know enough about it. It's too hard to get the real information because everybody lies. I'm not climate. Maybe we are in the shit. But there is no point in tiny Western nations with tiny populations making themselves fucking miserable when it's not going to do anything. It's going to do nothing. The biggest driver of carbon is humanity. Simply being alive makes carbon. So fuck it. We either go all in, or we don't do it. Is all I'm saying. The idea that people in Sweden and Denmark and Scotland should be fucking miserable and poor when it isn't going to make a jot of difference defies belief. And this is what I keep saying to these stupid woke twats. It doesn't make any sense. The population is the biggest driver of carbon emission. I've told you guys the statistics about it. They said that if a woman recycles for a whole life, never drives, and only eats a vegan diet, but she has one child, her carbon emissions are 40 times higher than a man who doesn't do any of that. So I can eat steak every day and drive a Humvee. And if a woman has one kid, but she's a hippie and lives in a wigwam, her carbon emissions 40 times larger than mine. And you think Scotland and fucking Denmark should live miserable shit lives while the Chinese have scrapped the one-child policy and the third world's multiplying. We're going to hit 8 billion people, and then we're going to hit 9 billion people, and then we're going to hit 10 billion people, and they want everybody to be fucking miserable. Greta, the little goblin pixie, wants everyone to be fucking miserable for literally no reason. There is no reason. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. None. China's carbon output emissions next year are going to be higher than this year. So if Britain decimates their economy to shave 10% of fuck all, we're going to shave 10% of our fuck all emissions off, and China's is going to go up by 20. And everyone's going, who cares, eh? Who cares? I mean, seriously, if you, like our walk friend in the chat there, if you think that's logical, your brain's broke. Your brain's broke. Go and shake hands with Biden's ghost, because your brain's as fucked up as his is. China's is going up. And every day, more people are born than die. So every day it goes up. So these minuscule, shitty little Western European countries can whinge about it all alike. It's not doing anything. Oh, every little helps. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Every little doesn't help. Every little helps. It's like trying to move Mount Everest by taking a teaspoon of fucking earth from it every day. Every little helps. No, it doesn't. One of you twats go and do it, and we'll see if every little helps. Just one bloke with a teaspoon of soil every day for the next 200 fucking years. Get your kids and your grandkids to join in. See if it does anything. The idea that that there's any point to it is fucking laughable. So as usual, Cami Badenoch is the only one talking sense. In fact, we'll end the stream with that Cami Badenoch quote, because she's obviously the only one who the fucking leadership's behind. Not the leadership, the general public's behind, because she's the only one that said climate change, the green agenda, needs to fucking go. Darren Grimes was on about it. You know what else I've noticed? Because I follow Darren Grimes on Twitter. You know what I've noticed about Darren Grimes? Milquetoast lefty fucker that he is. He gets 10 times more shit than any of the sort of actual right-wing fuckers on YouTube, on Twitter. And I can only assume it's because Darren Grimes is actually working class, so they all hate him. And this is one of the reasons why I despise the walk. Like, because they claim to speak for people like me because I'm northern and working class. And the way they talk to people like me is despicable. Like, that poor little bastard, he's only a fucking young lad, and he's actually genuinely working class from a poor family. And the walk despise him. Like, everything he posts, they're on there insulting him, calling him names. I don't understand it. He's like a young, actual working class lad, and everybody hates him. Like, on Twitter, he gets more hate than anybody else I've seen on Twitter. It's actually quite unbelievable by middle class Guardian readers. I don't use the word bullying because I hate the word. If you're a grown up, you can't get bullied. I think I've talked about before when I worked for the council. I hated it when a grown man in front of me said to the manager, "Oh, he's bullying me." He's like a 50-year-old man, and he says, "Oh, he's bullying me." And I was like, how do you get bullied when you're 50? What do you mean? He's intimidating you maybe, and you're just being a pussy, but bullied when you're a fucking grown man. It's ridiculous. Oh, bullying. Bullying's for 8-year-olds. Are you a fucking infant? Do you know what I mean? There's woke people in the chat here constantly having a pop at me. They're not bullying me. They're just wankers giving me the shit opinion. You just go and see the manager and say, I don't want to work with him. Why? Because he's a fucking wanker. Don't talk to me about bullying when you're a grown-up. Oh, he's bullying me. He's a cunt. He's a cunt. Anyway, Darren Grimes gets tortured on Twitter by the woke middle class. The ones who say they're dead nice, the tolerant left, they torture him. torture him because they think he belongs to them because he's white, northern, working class. They think he belongs to them, and he doesn't. He's free to have his milquetoast fucking mediocre opinions. Leave him alone. Angry Bootneck said, I do believe in climate change, but we have to do it in a way that's sustainable. If we damage our economy, they will not follow us and we will not solve the problem. You can see she's an engineer. How logical is that? That's another point to add on to what I've been saying. When they see everyone in Western Europe is fucking miserable and all the people are having riots, the Dutch farmers kicking off, when they see what's happened to Sri Lanka, where the World Economic Forum have fucking bribed the Prime Minister to do all this green bollocks, and now they're all skint and they can't feed the kids. In Sri Lanka, they literally can't feed the kids. I read a piece about it saying, one woman saying that my kids have been on one meal a day for 2 weeks. We can't get fuel. We can't cook. I haven't had a hot meal for 3 weeks because we can't get any fuel because of the climate change. And the Chinese couldn't give a monkey's fart. So that is a better point than I've made. I mean, I've just done the maths, i.e. count how much carbon is emitted by nations, do a mathematical equation, how much we can shave our carbon emissions by, and how much China and India's is going to go up by as the population explodes. But that's my logic. But that's also a good reason. If we fuck up our economy and they see what happens, they see us go from the first world to the third world in this desperate quest to not even put a dent in it because big nations with a billion people in it aren't doing anything about it. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to join us for the ride, are they? They're going to see Britain go from being a world leader, America go from being an economic titan to getting overtaken. Oh, and it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of years, the Chinese are going to overtake us because Bungalow Biden stopped the fracking, stopped the pipeline, stopped the production, stopped the manufacturing. Green New Deal. They're going to see the richest country in the world end up skint. And they're not going to want to follow along, are they? So that's another good logical reason why we shouldn't be doing it. Baby steps I'm willing to take, right? Like I've said, increase recycling, promote recycling, tell people we should do what the Americans do. We'll give you £1 for a bag of fucking cans. Promote recycling. All the chavs that do it then. If you say we'll give you £1 for every 30 cans you bring in, recycling is shoot up. There's little steps we can take. More efficient vehicles, engineering solutions, promote recycling. Little steps, let's do that. But anything that's going to tank the economy, poke it up your fucking dirt box. So Cammy, as usual, the only one talking sense. And you know what's hilarious? Imagine if she gets in, you'll have a black woman prime minister in a country with hardly any black women in it. And the woke, who just keep nominating white men, Jeremy Corbyn, Jeremy Corbyn, never managed it. Keir Starmer, Sir Keir Starmer. So the nasty Tories, they'll be on the third female prime minister, and she's a black woman in a country with hardly any black people. And all the commies can do is keep nominating straight white men, Sir Keir and millionaire Jezza, and they'll say, you're a racist if you vote for Cammy Badenoch. You're a racist, you have to vote for Sir Keir. You couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make it up. Everything about it. You could not make it up. And with a straight face, the resident shit for brains in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, will be like, yeah, I'm a tolerant liberal and you're racist. Well, I voted for the black woman, mate. You lads can't manage it, can you? You can't manage it, can you? Just straight white rich men all the time. All the time. Right, we'll call it a day there, ladies and gents. I'm going to have a day off tomorrow. I will start making videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as Ragnar suggested. And I will see you fuckers on Wednesday. You can have that for now, you twats. I'll talk to you Wednesday, all right? And tune in tomorrow, and I'll put a video up. I haven't decided what I'll make it about. Who cares? I'll wing it. All right, thanks for watching. Toodle pip. See you on Wednesday. Cheers.